So we went over just about every bridge we have out here in the last couple Dockside TV episodes. This is going to be the last one we talk about for the spring. This is Highway 11. And the water clarity's been fantastic. We're going with the Holy Jolie. This is probably one of my favorite matrix shads for clean water. That and Shrimp Creole, Magneto, your clear baits, just a little flake, great clean water baits. Catching nice specks. And I'm going to just go over how to position the boat, what kind of cast you make. These fish, just like we discussed in the twin span on the last episode, the old twin span, these fish can be real tight to the poles, or you got to check it and see if they're off the poles. On the twin span, them big girls are tight to the poles. Today, it's looking like these little bit smaller fish are off the poles and just using them as current breaks. Alright, well there's two different styles that you can fish Highway 11. You get the boat real close to the bridge, throw it under the bridge, and work it right down the poles, just like we showed you on the twin span on your last episode of Dockside TV. Now when I do find the fish really tight to the poles, and if you look at some previous Dockside TVs on Highway 11, you'll find certain episodes where we're catching monster trout dead under the bridge. Today, what I'm finding is they're a little bit off, a little bit smaller, and that's typically the case when they're off the bridge, is they're not the real big ones. The real big ones must use these bridge pylons to where they can really get in between them, and they're real lazy, and they don't like to move much. They let that current break right around them, and when it's like that, you got to throw that lure right down the poles. But today, we're kind of fishing it similar to the way we fish the trestle. We got the boat backed off, and we're working it well off the bridge and catching some decent fish doing this using the Holy Jolie. It's another good area to get away from the boats. I'm gonna pan out right now. Just look at the boat traffic on the trestle, and look how there's no boats on Highway 11. That's one of my favorite things about fishing the other bridges in Pontchartrain is that you get them to yourself. And sure, there's plenty of fish on the trestle, but if they got a lot of boats there, those fish just get pressured. They don't like to bite in that. And you can fish these other bridges and get it to yourself. There might not be as many fish, but they're more eager to bite because they're not getting harassed as badly. Hooker. Look at him. That fish was sniffing the wrong lure. He went to check that lure out. Caught one in the jugular there. Look at that. That's not where they eat from, guys. That's called a curious fish. And I went to pop it, got him in the booty. You know? A little Troutski on the old Holy Jolie. This is the perfect size to fry up. It's 14 inches. We catching it right here, right next to a barge. Been working on the Highway 11 bridge for a minute here. And I don't know, we're probably on almost 2 to 3 years now that this bridge has been closed, but good thing about it is you don't have the car traffic on it to drive you crazy with the sound. But I guess they'll get done that bridge one day. In the meantime, we're going to keep catching trout underneath it. There we go. Alright, so look guys, this is kind of like the decisions you have to make. As you can tell, we're close to the bridge. So we went a good little piece of, when we first started off, we were getting a few bites well off the bridge. And then we went a little ways with a pretty dead zone. And then I noticed the tide started falling a little bit less, a little bit softer tide. So I said, well, let's go, I call it, let's keep these fish honest. Let's get up close to the bridge and throw up underneath the bridge and work it down the poles. Let's see if these fish have moved underneath the bridge. And sure enough, we just caught two back to back, so maybe we can establish another pattern with them being up under the bridge. And this is something you can get away with on the other bridges. Now on the trestle, you can't really do this because there's so many snags under the bridge. That's why everybody fishes it off. It's a lot easier place to fish. When these fish get close to the bridge like this, I mean, these casts that we got to make, it's called a roll cast. And you got to roll it underhand. That way you don't hit the roof of the bridge. And your precision of the casting needs to be really, really good. That way you can keep it right next to the poles. Now, if it was like it was this morning, where the fish are way off the bridge, it's very simple. You throw overhand because you're backing the boat up way off the bridge and you're simply throwing at it. But if these fish want to pattern themselves up underneath the bridge, it's a lot harder, it's a lot trickier, and it takes a lot, missed that one right there. It takes a lot more skill set. I'm going to get back at it, see if I can get that fish that I just missed. That's a trout, he's a good one. Catching little trout all morning. Look at this, guys. This is what we're looking for. I'm gonna lose. Wow. That's the biggest fish I caught in a long time. Look at that, guys. Oh, on camera too. Wow. Biggest fish I've caught in a long time, guys. Look at this. Holy cow. Put him on the boat just so I can not use much pressure on him. Let's see what he weighs. Almost 6 pounds. That's a monster for nowadays on the Holy Jolie. Oh, I'm excited now. What a fish. Let me take some quick pictures. We're gonna let this fish go. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Dockside TV, catching regular sized trout and finishing the day off with this monster. Make sure to subscribe to all our YouTube channel, make sure to watch all our videos on our YouTube channel, Dockside TV. Got several fish in the Highway 11 bridge, and this is where the big girls live. We're gonna put this one back in the water, and remember, subscribe to the, there he goes, nice and healthy. Subscribe to the monthly bait box. Get your hands on some of these Holy Jolies that we've been using today, and come out here and catch a trophy like that. Until next time, good fishing.